Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, podcast family, and Merry almost Christmas. Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 450. I'm Phil Graham, and this is our annual episode right before Christmas. Today is December 23rd, 2025. So I'm going to do a Facebook ad frequently asked questions episode along with the number one lesson learned in 2025. So my friends, I'm so glad you are here, and I hope you're either off already on some vacation or getting ready to do that, spending lots of great time with your family and enjoying this amazing holiday season. It's definitely my favorite time of the year, other than some allergies, which you might be able to hear in my voice. And by the way, I wanted to just mention this because I thought it was kind of funny in a way. So I've been doing this podcast since 2017. What is that? 8 years? Almost 9 years now. That's crazy. Every single week. And you know what I did earlier today? I recorded an episode, except I forgot to hit record. So my friends, I am not perfect. Sometimes these things happen. If you ever have bad days or mess something up, you're not alone. Even after 8 years, every once in a while, I forget to hit record. Now, luckily, it's only happened a couple times in 8 years. But when you do a great episode and then you look at the screen and you're like, well, I can't even say it, but you're like, oh crap, I didn't record it. It kind of sucks. But hey, that is okay. We move on. We adapt. And we do it again. And that's what today's episode is all about. So just to share a little bit about what's ahead. Next week, we're going to start talking about what I am seeing for ads in the new year in 2026. And then I'm going to also, in the following weeks, have a few episodes on what I think you should be doing with your ads in 2026 and your budget and creatives and all that stuff. So I got some really good stuff coming for you. Today will be, like I said, just a fun, light, frequently asked questions episode and the number one lesson learned in 2025. If you do want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website, or DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. I love hearing from you guys. I do get super busy, and so I cannot always reply on every message, but I definitely try. And even if you just want to, give a suggestion for an episode topic, bring it on, my friends, because a lot of what I cover is straight from your suggestions. So I want to jump right into the questions. Now, normally I use AI to voice these questions. I just literally did not have any time to do that this week. It's just been an insane end of the year with tons of ads and tons of stuff with clients and stuff, which is a great thing. I normally can still fit that in, but it's just too crazy. So I'm just going to voice it myself. It's not going to be as good as AI. Maybe it's better than AI, right? Because it's a real human. I know I love AI, but I know a lot of people, we get tired of the AI slop as well. So maybe it's a good thing that I will voice them today. We'll see. But I got a couple questions I will answer. And let's start with number one. Do Facebook ads still work? This is crazy. Like, I don't get how somebody could ask this question. My thought is that they're probably struggling with ads, and that's why they're asking. So for that reason, okay, it kind of makes sense. It is like asking if basketball works or football works. I mean, it depends who you are. If you're good at it, it can work. If you're not, it almost certainly doesn't. Now, there's no easy buttons, there's no guarantees, all that kind of stuff. But of course, Facebook ads can still work. You know why? Because billions and billions of people use Facebook and Instagram and Threads and WhatsApp every single day. That's where your audience is. That's why it can work, because that's where the people are. In fact, I still believe that by far it is the best place in the world to advertise, and it's not even close. Now, is it as easy as it used to be years ago? Of course not. But actually, that's a good thing, because if you have skill, you have a real advantage over those trying to do this without skill. So I welcome that, and I actually love that. So yes, of course, it could absolutely still work. Okay, question number two. What is the biggest mistake that people make? I hate these questions because there are so many biggest mistakes. I could probably list 10 that I would literally say they were all the biggest mistake. But I'm going to I'm going to say one or two, just because, these two I just see so much. One of them is turning ads off way too fast. If I could stand on a mountaintop with a megaphone and everybody can hear it, I literally would go do that. I would do that for you guys. That's how much I care. I would go stand on a mountain and say this because almost everybody that I talk to seems to turn their ads off way too soon. Think about it. You might have an audience of 2 million people or even 100 million people, and you let it run for 3 or 4 days. It cycled through like 1,000 or 2,000 people, and you think it's time to turn it off? Like, come on now. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. So I would definitely say turning ads off way too soon. Huge one. Another thing I would say is either not enough testing. You really got to test different ad angles, different hooks and stuff like that. Or if somebody is testing, a lot of times they're testing in a way that's not correct and there's way too many variables. So they might as well not even be testing at all because no matter what happens, they won't know what causes it. Those are two things that are huge that I see all the time. Question number 3, how much should someone spend when they're testing ads? That's another really challenging question because it depends on who you are and what your budget is and what your resources are and where you are in your business. Do you have revenue coming in already or not? This is way too hard to answer without knowing your exact situation. If I knew you, I knew about your situation, I could tell you exactly what I would recommend you spend. However, without knowing that, I literally can't put a number to this. There's just way too many variables. Like if I had to just throw some numbers out there, I would say try not to spend $5 a day. It's just too little. At the same time, you don't have to spend 5,000 a day. Can you do 25 a day? Can you do 50 a day? It's better than 5 a day. So I can't really put any definitive numbers out there because there's way too many variables. I would have to know you personally, be working with you personally for that. But I'll just say this, start somewhere, spend what you can, spend what does not keep you up at night, but know that if you're spending a really small amount, then you better have small expectations. And if that's all you have right now, if that's literally all you can do, then you better be really good at it and focus on getting good at it to try and make the most out of it and then try and grow it so you can spend more. If you have more to spend, spend what's comfortable. Don't spend crazy. Spend to where you see what works and what doesn't, and then you try and scale what does and put more money on it and really try and work like that. Okay, number 5, and this is our last question, and then I'll talk about the number one thing that I learned about ads in 2025. So this question is asking what's working best right now for creatives. There's a lot of things that I like when it comes to creatives right now that could work well. I definitely like videos. Those are still my favorite. And there's so many different styles of videos. Right now, my 2 favorites are the founder or owner or CEO or main person talking on a video that's not overly produced. It's just you grab your phone and you authentically record a video. That's my favorite. A close second favorite would be user-generated content where you have customers or clients that record a video for you or they put it on social media about you and it was really good. Those can do really well as well. So those are my favorites. I do like images. I like all kinds of stuff. But if I had to pick those two videos, those 2 styles of videos are definitely my favorite right now and probably will be going into the new year. And then the number one thing that I learned about Facebook ads in 2025, this was a really tough one because there's so many things that are important. Like I could tell you a number one thing, but again, I could have 10 or 20 number ones, but I got to have a number one for this episode. So I'm going to go with creatives. It's tough because I could talk about how segmented audiences I still like better than many Advantage Plus audiences. And I can give you a lot of reasons why, and I can show you data that backs it up in certain situations. I've talked about that a lot. We'll talk about it more because it's really important. But today, we're going to say creatives, number one thing in 2025. The primary lever, the primary thing I would say of importance is your creative. Small budget, big budget, whatever the case may be. Really focusing on your hooks in your ads. When I say creatives, I mean your videos, your images, and your ad copy. Having amazing hooks that grab the attention of the audience in 2 or 3 seconds. Because if you don't do it, they're not going to notice what you're saying or what you're doing. So being able to create ads and visuals that differentiate, that stand out, that get their attention and are very relevant to your audience, to their pain points, to their desires, and communicating what problems you might solve for them, and testing those hooks and creatives on a consistent basis. But again, letting them run long enough so you actually get clean data to make good decisions, not testing them every 2 days. Creatives are definitely so important, and they're going to be a big topic of what I talk about in 2026 as well. And I've got a different way to think about it than a lot of people. I'm going to have a really interesting episode coming up for you guys in a few weeks, specifically on what I'm going to recommend for creatives in 2026. So make sure you guys check that out. But I definitely recommend focus on your creatives, try different hooks, different messaging, and try and make it so your ads don't look like everybody else out there. Try and make it so it's the opposite. So they stand out and they don't look like anything else that's out there. So I hope this was fun. I hope it was helpful. Again, all these questions come from listeners. So feel free to email me anytime you guys have questions, and I might just cover them on an upcoming episode because I do these frequently asked questions every 3 to 4 months. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So if you guys want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website. And my friends, episode 450 is in the books. We have one more episode of 2025 next Tuesday. Very excited about that. But until then, I hope you have an amazing Christmas. Have a great week. And I will talk to you guys on next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.